Good morning. Happy Monday to my crew. I hope you had a good weekend and are looking forward to another exciting week. This week we've got a lot to look forward to. So, before we get going, I just want to, as always, remind you that your priorities should be English and math, especially iReady. As teachers, we were talking, and if all you do is iReady for the whole week, that's better than a lot of other things you could do. So focus on your reading and math, especially your iReady, and all of the class materials that you'll have. Now let's get going and hear the rest of your specific assignments for the week. Sixth grade, we're going to start with math. After you do your iReady or around it, you'll need to make sure you're also doing your Ready Math instruction pages 162 to 171 and your Ready Math practice and problem solving pages 173 to 180. Do remember that Miss Fouts has her math help group, which for you is 1 to 145 every day, Monday through Friday, and there's lots of resources for help on the Google Classroom. For ELA, also do your iReady minutes, 45 minutes a week, okay? And sixth grade, your ELA Hangout Book Talk with Mr. Levitt is going to be on Wednesday from 10 to 11. Mr. Levitt is there to answer any questions you have, talk about books you're reading, and he'll be telling the story of Treasure Island. So tune in, please. For your writing, you're going to be writing a story. It can either be fictional or nonfiction, and the main thing is that you need to include some vocabulary. There's a list on your Google Classroom of 10 vocabulary words, and you need to include at least 4 of them. For a challenge, try and do more. There's some writing prompts on the website, on the classroom if you want suggestions, but you don't have to use one of the prompts. It can be typed or handwritten. You can take a picture, just send it along, and I'd love to see them too. I'm curious. Science this week, you're going to be researching a Utah ecosystem. There's 5 to choose from: alpine and mountain, forest, Great Salt Lake, wetlands, and deserts. And as you're doing your research, there's going to be specific instructions in the Google Classroom for what you need to do, including some extra Earth Day activities. Earth Day's this week. I love Earth Day. It's one of my favorites. Social studies this week is going to be an exciting, very open project. There's a lot of museums online, and Mr. Stanley would like you to visit at least one of them and write a minimum of 3 sentences about one of the exhibits you found the most interesting. The British Museum, Smithsonian, Louvre, and National Women's History Museum are all online. You can find those links in the email and in your Google Classroom. You'll want to tell him what was the exhibit, what was one thing you learned, why is it important, things like that. And if you visit one of the art museums like the Louvre, I'd love to know too. For PE, please continue to exercise. Get in your exercise. Get in your 45 minutes a week at minimum, up to an hour a day. I'm doing it too. So stick with us. Mr. Sterland will have information online. For art this week, besides your daily sketchbook, which you should still be doing, you're going to actually be following along with me for a new project. This is a 2-week project. I have a video on YouTube of me drawing facial features, and I want you to follow along. Get your paper, draw the facial features as I go. And for your ultimate project, which you're doing this week and next week, you're going to draw a face. I have a lot of faces for you to choose from, or you can find one in a magazine. You can draw somebody's face in your house. Redraw the face using the skills from the video. And honestly, you only need to do half the face. That's all I'm expecting. Okay, if you want to do both sides, go ahead. But at least do half. Also, I'm including a link, so if you want to try and make watercolors this week, you can. For STEM, you need to continue working on your service information. You're going to have lessons and service information in your Google Classroom, so please make sure you're checking that out. This week, we'll be having crew every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 a.m. And we'll be doing our greeting, reading initiative, and hanging out. So I'm excited to see you tomorrow. See you in crew.